structure falls and all else fails, we will build it once again. Turns to grey, we'll calmly walk away from the fray. When structure falls and all else fails, we will build it once again. We can climb high, higher than before, or we could stand by while it burns to the floor, though we cannot fly. We will build and the wounds will mend as we build it once again.
As I fell to the ocean floor, fading light through an open door, I saw myself rise with the water. They thought they could keep me down, hold that breath and watch me drown, but all the sight. We will stand, we will fight. It's not over till it's over. Through the night, in the rain, through the time and the pain, the stand will never fall. And then at the end of it all, we will win, we will chant. It's not over till it's over.
guys, what's going on? Today we have a good match for you in store. This is the Smite Oceanic Invitational League. Starting off is Avant Garde versus the newly named Team Kamikaze, actually bringing out a name from the olden days of Smite Oceanic. Joining me today is the Husey. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm great, thanks, man. How are you?
I am not too bad. I'm super hyped for this game.
Yeah,
I
starting
hope
off with
you're
a
hyped
great
too.
game.
Oh, okay. So let's go straight into picking bands here. We have an Ares band and an Athena band right off the bat from Avant Garde, and now we also have Thor and Sylvanas.
Yeah, so those are all pretty standard bands, except for the Ares. I guess that Avant are wary of Gruffdogger's Ares. He's played a couple of good matches with him. Other than that, Athena and Sylvanas, top two supports in Season 2. You really want to get rid of them early. And Thor is just kind of the premier jungle. Like, he can really do a lot of damage from all over the field. So getting him off the board early is good. So we can see now Geb is locked in first by Avant Garde. And then Sobek and Isis locked in here from Team Kamikaze.
Yeah, Gib is so strong with that Stone Shield, able to cleanse, give a truckload amount of health, and also that rollout and blink combo with that Cataclysm as well is great initiation, great team fight as well. A Sobek coming out and an Isis, like you said. Sobek is great for making picks, and Isis also there for making picks with that Spirit Ball, and mixed in with the Wing Gust, deal a lot of damage, and mixed in as well with the Circle of Protection gives great team fight.
The other thing as well is that the Sobek could be be used as kind of like a insurance pick. They might be thinking of putting that in the solo lane, depending on what Avant Garde does with their picks. You can see now that Bastet and Agni have been locked in as the 2 and 3 selections from Avant. Agni, being a very strong mid laner throughout Season 1 and Season 2, is a little bit countered by Poseidon, who is still on the board at this stage, although Isis has been picked by Team Kamikaze. So I think they were pretty confident with... They were waiting to see what Kazi did before they went with Agni, but Achita, he played a lot of Agni during the Season 1 finals when he was part of the Hitare, so I think it's one of his preferred mid lane picks.
And Ram actually being locked in right away, and this will be the third band coming in from Team Kamikaze. Who will it be? What roles do we have left? We have the 80 carry still open for Avant and the solo laner, so they will have to target those.
Well, you can play Bastet in the solo. You don't see it really often, but it can be done. You can see that Gibalanke is banned out here. Very sensible ban. Gibalanke being one of the, if not the best 80 carry in Season 2, especially with the increase in mana from 80 carries with the addition of Bluestone Pendant as the starter. Ymir banned out now from Avant Garde. I guess they were looking maybe Ymir jungle from Team Kamikaze. They might have seen Liquid Renegade do a couple things with that.
I think it's because of the Sobek pick. Sobek can go support or solo, and in scrims around the top teams, they do like to play Sobek solo quite a lot actually, and that was a risky ban for them. So they could put Sobek in the solo and still pick up another support, maybe a Barkus if they are going to. Picking up Hunbats right here. So Hunbats is so strong in the jungle. He's got very good mobility with the Sacred Monkey and the Somersault, able to gank very, very well. And mixed in with the Fear No Evil and the Overhand Smash is great pick potential, great team fight as well.
Definitely. And yeah, as you said, Hunbat's very strong in the jungle. His Fear No Evil, it was a really... if it's used correctly, can be one of the great team fighting ultimates in the game, just especially when it's a really frustrating kind of one where you're pushing up the enemy team into the wall and they can't do anything about that. Combined with that, the Isis Spirit Ball, it gives her a very nice target to get some extra stuns down there, as well as that sets up the Rama's Astral Barrage as well for when he goes up. Tyr and Ulla locked in here now for Avant Garde. Tyr going to be played in the solo, Ulla for the 80 carry. Ulla, I think, a bit of an underappreciated 80 carry. With his changed stance, he brings a lot of utility to the stage, especially with that Axe Stun that really allows for some extra great pick potential. His passive, which he gains on his ultimate, depending on his stance, with his bow, gives him such an extra attack speed boost, and with the Axe, some lifesteal. So he's really versatile and really able to stay in lane a lot. And we can see now it is going to be a solo back pick, and Barkus being put in for support. So solo back going up against Tyr. I think that was the plan from Kamikaze from the start to have Sobek in that kind of switch role. And now we see Barkus coming out as a support. I don't think we see enough of Barkus in Season 2. He gets a lot of protections when he's drinking, and who doesn't love a drunk god? And yeah, with his belly flop as well, it does, got some great CCs on him, as well as his breath and his ultimate as well. So some nice CC coming out from Team Kamikaze. They've got Sobek, Hornbats, Isis, and Barkus all with hard CC. Rama has got a cripple as well, so really great team fighting potential from Team Kamikaze.
Yeah, the Barkus pick is very, very... I like this a lot. Because of the belly flop, it knocks up and can initiate. And when you get a knock-up initiation, you can steal objectives like the Gold Fury and the Fire Giant very, very easily. And that's why I love Barkus. He's such a good support, and his burst damage is insane with that Intoxicate mixed in there, along with that Belch of the Gods.
Let's talk about this solo Beck pick now, because we saw it a bit during the Invitational ladder qualifiers. It didn't always work out the best.
It didn't, no. It's very, I want to say risky, because he's very tanky, but he also deals quite a lot of damage with that Lurking in the Waters ultimate, and the damage and the tankiness coming out from him is very, very good. Now, I don't know too much about it, because he's so rarely picked.
Yeah.
And it's just getting information on it is very, very difficult. If you can execute it well, it's a great pick.
He reminds me a little bit of Hercules with the charge spray, able to fling his targets into a direction of his choosing. So, throwing under the tower is always a good option. Following up with a tail whip to keep them in there for just that little bit longer puts you in mind of Hercules' Earthbreaker Driving Strike combo. What he doesn't have, which Hercules does have, is a lot of healing. He does bring some extra defensiveness to the table. Against a tier who can really heal up nicely with his power cleave when used in the guarded stance, it's going to very difficult. Tier is always very difficult to face in the solo lane. A couple of mages counter him pretty well, such as Chunga or Freya, if you're willing to be that risky. But Tier, a very solid solo laner, and especially being played by Sporks. And indeed, the whole Avant team, they're all very highly respected, either the top or in the top 3 at their roles in Oceania. And it's going to be a difficult task for any team to overcome them during this, not only during this Invitational ladder, but during the Pro League itself.
Definitely. And going on to the team composition of Avant, it's very, very good. Early game and late game as well. Bastet is a very, very good early game jungler, and so Agni is a potent mid laner across the entire time of the game. Early game he's got great wave clear, and then he's got good poke in the mid game with those rainfire, and then late game rainfire, and his amount of burst is insane. Also mixed in there is the Ulla and the Gib. Gib has great initiation like we did say earlier, and Ulla with his steroid does increase his physical power while in the ranged stance. So their team composition is very, very good. It synergizes well. As well. So it'll be great to see this match, and I'm super hyped as we jump into it, guys. Whew.
I'm keen. I'm very keen. I mean, what a match to start off with.
I know.
Team Kamikaze, back when they were known as Trident in the Season 1 finals, went to 3 matches with Avant, who were at the time known as Insight. So it's going to be a very good matchup. So let's get all our camera stuff sorted here for everyone watching.
And then we put sweet. So
So shall we run through our team's Nightfall? If
Sure.
everyone is synced up, I'll make sure to turn off the slow-mo. Alrighty, folks. So as we get into it, the left side of your spectator UI, fighting out of the order side of the map, we do have Avant Garde. Sporks is in the solo lane with Tyr. Ro is the jungler with Bastet. Ochita is your mid lane Agni. Subfloor and Biggie are your duo lane as Ulla and Geb.
And over on the chaos side of the map, Under the name of Team Kamikaze, we do have Tompo in the solo lane as Sobek, Liquid Renegade as Hunbats in the jungle, Divine as that mid lane Isis, Red Oxide as Rama in the AD carry position, and supporting him will be Gruffdogger on Barkus.
Yes, we can see an early 5-man grouping coming up from Team Kamikaze, looking to live up their name and go in a little bit, maybe all or nothing here in an early invade. So we'll see how this turns out. Avant, very smart about protecting themselves about invades. They've got ward coverage down. Looks like all of Team Kamikaze's just wandered over a very well-placed ward from Vanguard. So they're all going to group under mid tower now. Just a ward being placed down now by Gruffdogger. I think that's mainly what they were trying to accomplish there, get some vision, but going to do it safely with the whole team. That shows some practice there, folks, that they're able to do that and then get back to their camps in time, which it looks like they will be able to do, but also showing very smart play from Avant, not being caught out by that invade.
Definitely, so nothing too aggressive, just getting those early wards down to see any evades, which won't come out, I assume. So something very interesting to note is Watcher's Gift was picked up by Biggie. Now the reason he did this is because he's going to play more passively, because Barkus is more of an aggressive support. So playing against it, you want that HP 5 that it does give you, as well as that gold, rather than the tankiness, because he's not going to go in and have to be tanky. So that is why he picked up Watcher's Gift. Also gives you extra gold, so he's definitely going to want that.
The only thing is that Geb is a little bit vulnerable early game. A lot of subs are, but Geb especially, so he tends to be able to be picked on early in the game, and that's the point where Kamikaze has a little bit of an advantage here. Barkus, as you can see, Gruffdogger jumping in now, taking a fair bit of damage from subfloor and the minions. He's taking all the aggro there. Subfloor just missing with the hail of arrows onto Redoxide. Yeah, if Redoxide and Gruffdogger can pick on Biggie early and really get subfloor at a disadvantage in his lane, then Kamikaze will have a great chance in this one. And the game is now paused by Sporks. We might have a possible DC here. While we're paused, folks, let's go through some of these items. So you mentioned the Watcher's Gift on Geb. That does provide a nice passive, giving you bonus gold on minion kills, whether by tower or by one of your fellow gods. On the other side, Gruffdogger's gone Mark of the Vanguard for some early protections and health and some damage reduction. So that's a nice pickup. We're seeing that a lot in Season 2, really coming back into the vogue. Tompo's also picked that up on the solo back. So he's very wary of the early game damage of Roe and Sporks.
Bastia is super strong early game with that Razor Whip, dealing so much damage over time early, and also those cats. As soon as she hits level 5, she will go in on someone, most likely Isis, the Divine there in the mid lane, who doesn't have a jump to try to get away. The only way, or unpausing, there we go. So as soon as Roe hits level 5, he will most likely go for Divine there in the mid lane.
Yeah, those cats do a lot of damage and do a lot of damage early, and they also slow you down as well, so it's very hard to get away with them. Divine, as Isis, does have Wing Gust, so he might have a little bit of an advantage there, but he should still be very wary of Roe's rotations, and I'm sure that Kamikaze has practiced that enough that they know what's coming. Roe looking like he's going to go for a little bit of a buff steal here, might even be trying to sneak up behind Divine. We do have Stasis mode.
Oh no.
Stasis mode. It wouldn't be an Oceanic cast without Stasis mode.
Okay, this is very unfortunate. We try our best to do what we can to get rid of this, but unfortunately it does come back. Going back to the cats, the best way to get away from them is getting Sprint 2, because it reduces that slow. Oh, are we back?
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, there we go. We're back. All right.
Okay, sweet. Oh, sorry. So
Rose, he's going to steal the back right side mid camp now. So that's going to be denied to Liquid Renegade, who's just going to help Tompo farm up. So he's going to lose out a little bit here. Roe coming up behind Divine now, just wandering between his towers, letting him know I'm there and you can't do anything about it. He's going to steal the other camps now. Divine going in on him now, uses the signs. There's the Spirit Ball. Wing Gust taking Roe very low here, but he should be able to get out. Uses the Razor Whip for Roe at about half health. Just going to leave now. Ochida's there to help him out if they need it. And now Liquid Renegade has stolen Roe's right camp. We've got Stasis mode again. It looks like Liquid Renegade's going to go for the back left camps as well, so a bit of a jungle trade there.
Yeah, Liquid Renegade had to do that, otherwise he would get behind in experience. So it's good that he is replying, but we'll see if Avant know, and then they could rotate to try and kill him. They don't have any information though. The only information is the fact that Spork's probably called the rotation towards mid, but
Yeah.
he hasn't shown up in mid, so I assume Avant know that he's taken these back camps.
Yeah, and they can see he's not level 5, so they're not really worried about him popping in and using his Pheno, able to possibly pick up a kill in the mid lane. Might be a little bit worried about their duo laners because they have no vision on that side. No one's gone back and had a chance to buy up wards. But yeah, they're pretty happy he's not in lane and getting some farm at the moment. And now Liquid Renegade hovering over the mid camps. They do come up in 20 seconds, but not close enough to that time for him to really be hanging around there too much. Goes back to the mid lane to pick up some farm. Ro
Here comes
and
the
Ochita
rotation
look at their mid
from
camp.
the
Fine, it's not
Sporks.
there. Here comes a mid camp fight. Looks like this is going to be the first one. Sporks is rotating over as well. Possibly to pick up the right hand ones on the slide. Nice firebomb combo there from Ochita. Managed to stun out everyone on Kamikaze. Divine getting very low. There's the circle protection and Spirit of 4. Pheno Evil comes out from Liquid Renegade. We've got
Oh, it
Stasis
missed.
mode. Stasis
Oh,
mode OP. Stasis mode, you
missed.
the real MVP.
It missed. The Pheno Evil hit Ro, and Ro's still
Yeah.
level 4, and so is Biggie. The only level 5s are Divine and Liquid Renegade, and both ultimates are now down.
Yeah.
So if the back camps go to Avant, Ro's gonna hit level 5, and then he can chase down Divine, and that's gonna be a kill.
Yeah. Ochita does have his firebombs. I don't believe
He
he has
used 2,
any.
I think.
He's got 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used 2. I don't think he's going to find any more. He did use them very well with the noxious fumes to stun out
Ooh.
everyone on Team Kamikaze. So that was why
Sporks
they.
is right there.
Yeah.
Sporks is right there as well. What?
He
And
took the right hand side mid camps. It was a
Yeah.
very good rotation. Tompo
And
would have
Tompo-
called it. He would have called it. He looks like he's coming over now, but really couldn't do much. Didn't want to chase him down and leave some free farm. But Sporks is level 5. He does have his Lawbringer to bring down onto the 3 members of Team Kamikaze that are very nicely grouped up. He's a little bit away over the lane though, so he might not get there in time. He might get spotted out by minions. But it's going to be it's a very good rotation by Sporks.
Ultimately, the fact that Tompo's still in the solo lane, whereas Sporks is pretty much in the mid lane. So it takes, with no boots, it takes 18 seconds to get from mid lane to solo. And I actually timed that the other day.
Yeah.
Tier's
I heard.
already there. 18 seconds to get in that gap. The fight's going to be over and someone's going to be dead. And
Yep.
there's nothing Tompo can do.
Yeah.
Unless the fight extends too far.
Look, Biggie does still have some CC. His shockwave is available to him if he wants it, so he can keep them around a little bit if he needs to. He can also roll out and possibly hit someone. They're just holding out for Sporks at the moment. Once he comes over, he's going to be able to do a significant amount of damage to Team Kamikaze. And a 4-on-3 fight with Divine as low as he is not going to go the way Team Kamikaze hopes it will.
What also could happen is Red Oxide could use his ultimate. He's level 5. If he stands at the back of Gold Fury, you can hit the mid camps. So if he hits all 3, that can change the fight.
Yeah.
It's
And Road still does have his hog up, so he can jump in there, hog the camps, possibly take him down, get his level 5 experience, and use his cats.
And that's definitely what's gonna change the fight. Whoever gets those mid camps is gonna win the fight and gonna snowball from there.
Yeah.
Ooh. We do apologize about the stasis mode. Are we back?
We're back.
We're back. Okay.
Yeah, the camps going the way of it looks. Was it Kamikaze? Oh, Rose got his 5. There's the Lawbringer. Spirit Ball hits everyone except for Sporks there. He's going in hard. Renegade uses his jump to get over the wall. There's the Astral Barrage. Very nice from
Rose solo.
Redoxide getting Ro very low. Renegade is chasing him now. Ochita very low as well. Well played there from Redoxide, managing to get his teammates out of a little bit of trouble.
That was 0. And if we check the XP, that did go in favor of actually
Very hard to tell.
Avant.
Yeah.
It is
I
very
think
hard
it
to
was
tell,
Avant
isn't it?
because I think it was Avant because Rowe managed to hit level 5.
Although the tier 1... Yeah, true. The
Yep.
right camps went to both Avant and over here in the duo lane, Subfloor does get a belch to the face, but he just jumps away, he uses that glory bound, and now everything very chilled.
Yeah. Both teams are very wary of each other at this stage of the game. Neither one wants to give each other an inch, the least bit of advantage. You can really see the respect both teams have for each other. You know, Kamikaze knowing Avant's reputation after they took out the Season 1 finals, and Avant knowing Kamikaze's reputation when they were Trident. They also qualified automatically by coming third in the Season 1 finals. So both teams know each other well. They know that they're constantly improving, and so they really respect what they can do. So
Liquid
Rose
Renegade.
starting the blue camp of Tompo, and he's just going to take the Liquid Renegade was there, used his somersault to get over the wall and away from the members of Avant. So, you know, they're gonna be very happy that they took that, and I think Liquid Renegade's going to be happy he didn't get caught out. Yep.
Okay, so...
Here comes the lurking in the waters from Tompo. Don't know what he's hoping to there. Just use
regain mana. When you're under, you regen mana, and he was actually quite low, so he used that just to gain mana back to keep himself sustained. And that's one of the reasons why Sobek is very good, because of that mana sustain and the heal. Although it does force him to use his ultimate, which is the trade-off there.
Yep. So yeah, that was very well played there. Some nice knowledge of the gods coming out there from Nightfall and from Tompo.
Liquid Renegade. Oh, speaking of Liquid Renegade, he's in the jungle, and will something happen? Oh, okay.
He's heading over towards Subfloor and B now. He does have his Fear No Evil available, but it looks like Subfloor and Biggie just going to turtle up under tower. He may have walked over a ward on his path over here. Looks like a cheater knows where he is as well.
It may have been because of Gruff. He was playing much more aggressive, and that sort of broadcasted to Subfloor and Biggie that maybe the jungler was around. So they did play a bit safe because Gruffdogger was playing. He was pushed further up into the lane, and now these mid camps respawning. Liquid Renegade already on that left side, and Avant over there on the right side.
Stasis mode again. Yeah. So. You know, this is real Smite, guys. It's not Smite unless there's some stasis mode.
So just what I was going back to Liquid Renegade. He used to be on the original roster of Team Kamikaze back in the Smite OCE 5v5. The first one that was in December last year. That was the current roster, except for Tompo. That was Sintage instead. And now they're back to the original roster, which is kind of nostalgic actually, with the same name as well. So calling them TCAM is actually, you know, it brings back some memories of the good old days.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know that Trident had been trying out a fair number of different junglers after Sintage left, and it looks like they're just going to bring back old mate Renegade.
Yeah, which is good because they still have the synergy. With that member, which is like extremely good to have on a pro level team. Synergy is like very difficult to come by, and a very, very important part of a team. So there's, I want to see some aggression towards Gold Fury, because Red Oxide is standing on a ward and Subfloor is looking towards there, whereas Red Oxide doesn't know exactly where Subfloor is.
He's got to
come around that
he's
corner.
not just sitting in lane. So he knows. I think he knows Subfloor's going to be rotating over at some point. He might be trying to just hide here near his Gold Fury, wait for Subfloor to come by, and then start hitting him. But because he's walked over a ward, Subfloor's going to know exactly where he is, and so it's not really going to do much for Red Oxide there. Both of them very even in terms of gold and XP. Even stacks on Devourer's Gauntlet, both of them very even in that. So neither of them going to have a real advantage if it comes to a boxing match. It'll just come down to mechanical skill. And that is anyone's guess as to how that one will go. Left-hand side mid-camp's going to be started by Team Kamikaze as soon as we're out of this stasis mode. I Avant had finished the right-hand side one already, so they might, be looking to come over and try and cause some damage there. They all have their ultimates up except for Tompo, who's still... they all have their ultimates up except for Subfloor, who doesn't technically have an ultimate. He's got his chain stance. So they're all going to be able to do lots of damage. Here comes the game back again. We're out of stage mode finally. Outside mid camps, going the way of Team Kamikaze. Looks like Ro's going to rotate over to the right-hand side, not really going to find much. The dock side and Subfloor don't end up going at it as we had hoped. But four-man grouping from Team Kamikaze in the mid lane now might be looking to pick up something on either Biggie or a Cheetah. Not really going to find it, but everyone's going to settle down and go back to lanes or back to base to get some more items.
Look at these wards from Avant. All around the Gold Fury, they've got 2 sentries, they've got 2 regular wards in both intersections of the mid harpies. Their ward coverage is absolutely amazing. It's great. It's 7 minutes into the game and they have full vision of that left side of the map. And if Team Kamikaze even try to look at Gold Fury, Avant Garde are going to know.
Yeah, and
that's
equally impressive though,
good.
Team Kamikaze does have lots of vision. Don't have any sentries around the Gold Fury because the sentries from Avant spot him out. Divine getting chased down by the Cats. Cataclysm comes down as well. There's a circle of protection. Will it be enough to heal him up? No, Ro picks up first one, but Renegade is there trying to do some damage back. But down goes Divine. Dockside picks up Corsair in the back with a nice Astral Barrage. So well played there from a Dockside. A little redemption for his team, but First Blood going the way of Avant Garde.
Yeah, and that was very, very good there by Ro. He was able to use those cats mixed in with the Cataclysm and able to pick up Divine. Divine not having a jump, only using those wing gusts, which do give him movement speed, just not enough because of the slow from the cats. But very nice return kill by Red Oxide with that Astral Barrage.
And now some fire bombs are coming down on Redoxide, getting punched a lot. There's the knock-up from Biggie. Redoxide gonna go down here. Biggie. Rough Dugger leaps up the walls and belches on 3 members of Avant, but it's gonna be too little too late for
Renegade
him to save his teammate. Liquid Renegade is coming over, but so is Ro. This could be a fight that doesn't go the way that Liquid Renegade... Oh, excellent action! Circle protection from the Divine. Spirit Ball doesn't land. Renegade is solo. The Hail of Arrows just misses him. Here's the rollout for Biggie. He's going in ham. Cheese and crackers. Not going to find anything, unfortunately. The Flame Wave and the Noxious Fumes not going to find anyone, but... Whew.
That was
great engagement there. I can't believe Liquid Renegade still alive. And Tompo and Spork's over here now. Everyone's here. Having a party, having a great time. 5-man grouping from Avant. They could be thinking Gold Fury here, but Tompo is still alive as well as Gruff Dogger. They'll probably be able to stop them from getting hit. Gruff Dogger extremely low on mana, however.
He has backed now, and that is a sentry ward, and there is a ward from Team Kamikaze just out of range of the sentry by Avant. So they do have vision, but they can't clear it.
Yeah.
Avant, that is. This is. Oh, I really want this fight. This is gonna be awesome. Okay,
and now here comes the fight that you just wanted. There's the Lawbringer and the fire bombs coming out from a Cheetah. Subfloor goes down to Tompo. There's the Fear No Evil from Liquid Renegade. Cats coming out from Rogue. Gruff Dogger is extremely low. Goes down to an excellent fireball from a Cheetah. There's another Astral Barrage from a Dockside. Those are ridiculous. Divine goes down to Corsair. To Rogue. His name a little confusing. Subfloor. Excellent hail of arrows. And only Liquid Renegade is alive. This is going to be a Gold Fury going the way of Avant. Spork's just going to zone out Liquid Renegade. But that is precision from Avant Garde, and that is what we have come to expect from them.
That was a 4-for-1 and Fury. Now the gold lead is 3,600 mid camps as well, going to Avant. Spork's over there in the right, picking up the right ones already. And gosh, Subfloor and that hail of arrows, as well as Red Oxide.
Red Oxide as well. Man, those Astral Barrages were on point. Like, he missed one on a Cheetah, but picked him up with the hardest one to get and doing excellent amounts of damage. And, I mean, if you want anyone on your team to be getting some kills, it's your 80 carry. Unfortunately, Subfloor's got 2 kills as well. So, not really going to help him terribly much.
And he hasn't died yet, whereas Red Oxide has unfortunately died twice. But he is doing well to keep up M kills and gold. Unfortunately, with that Gold Fury, though, that will extend the lead for Subfloor.
Yeah, so if we take a look at our graphs now, It's going to be around 1,000 XP difference for Avant and a 3,500 gold. We could see the massive jump up where they picked up that gold fury, but things going Avant-Garde's way at the moment.
Definitely. So, also before that was the 4 kills, then the Gold Fury. So those 4 kills are definitely going to come in handy. The score's now 6-2. Sporks missing that Fearless over in the solo lane, and unfortunately Stasis mode again. Subfloor rotating towards this mid lane. He's going to walk over a ward when he goes over there. He's standing on one right now, just on the edge of it, but there is another one by those mid camps.
Yeah, so the ward coverage from both teams is excellent. Like, I can't really put one team over the other. The Avant-Garde did have good coverage around that Gold Fury around the time of the fight, but Team Kamikaze's got that back now. There's just wards all over the map, and it's going to be very hard for either team to find a kill here.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of course, it's in a massive team fight, which Avant has the advantage.
So far, however, we'll see if something can turn around. Divine with that Circle of Protection. Circle of Protection can turn a team fight around indefinitely because it heals, gives protection, and deals damage. And in a team fight, that is huge.
Yeah.
Healing everyone standing in it and giving protections to everyone in it reduces the damage, heals them for whatever damage they just took, and heals you for more the more damage you take.
Yeah, and we saw it nearly saved him from in that team fight there. Unfortunately, Rowe was able to pick him up with his cats and razor whip, but it brought him back from the brink of death. And if there'd been maybe some extra peel from Team Kamikaze, they were all strung out. Unfortunately, he might have lived, but we could see really the power of the circle protection that you were describing.
Mm-hmm. It's a game-changing ability, as well as that Spirit Ball as well. A great damage. And so, for those of you who don't know, the further an Isis Spirit Ball travels, the more damage it does. I found that out 2 weeks ago, believe it or not. I've been playing this game for 3 years. How?
Wow.
Anyways.
Yeah, did you know that Janice's through space and time, once it passes a certain threshold, does extra damage as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think it's past 200 range.
You can officially quote Nightfall on that, guys, and talk to him in the chat if he's wrong.
It deals up to 200% damage past 800 range, I think.
Stasis mode, again.
Yeah, it's very difficult to try and fill the time. However, we are doing our best, guys. Thank you very much for sticking around with us through this stasis mode.
Yeah,
this is a hype game, though. 6-2 already at 11 minutes in. This is good. And that Gold Fury fight was excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent by both teams.
10-minute Gold Fury is something that you should be definitely proud of, because you're kind of at that stage where you may not necessarily have enough damage to just take it down. You need to get a couple of picks to be safe in doing it, and Avant-Garde did that brilliantly. And, I mean, talk about... Gosh, Subfloor's accuracy, all of his abilities, and you need accuracy to make all work. His hail of arrows, I think he's missed one total this game. He threw his axe and managed to get an excellent stun on, I believe it was Divine or maybe Liquid Renegade coming out of the jungle. It's just been excellent work from him. Ochida's fire bombs as well have just absolutely devastated everyone on Team Kamikaze, doing lots of damage and from long range. And that's a real strength of Agni's, is his ability to project damage over large distances.
Oh, definitely. And that's why he's one of the strongest, most potent... Sorry, you said Agni, yes?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, good. He's one of the most potent mid laners as well. Also, he is one of the only gods in the game whose escape deals damage.
Yeah.
Not a jump, a dash. A dash that deals damage is very rare. People with it is like Circuit, although that's more of her main damage source, whereas Agni can use it offensively and defensively, and then stun off from that, and then deal a lot of burst as well. That's why he's so strong.
Yeah, and the tick damage as well is especially useful for taking down camps.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Early game, if you Path of Flames a wave, it's It's very, very good. That's why his early game is so strong, because of the ticking damage. He's able to clear the wave so quick compared to other mid laners.
Yep. Yep. He's a very strong guy. He falls down a little bit against Poseidon because Poseidon's Whirlpool actually a cripple as well, so it doesn't allow him to use his Path of Flames to dash out of it, and that's where a lot of mid laners struggle against Poseidon. But as Divine picked Isis, they were confident enough in Ochida's they were able from that to get Ochida to pick Agni, who he played a lot in the when he was part of the Hetare in the Season 1 finals.
I really want to see more amazing skill shots landed by both Red Oxide and Subfloor. We do keep going back to it, but it's great. I love to see it.
Those Astral Barrages were incredible. Like, precision. That shows practice. That shows patience and skill. Just putting time into the game, devoting yourself to your craft. And that's what we need from Oceanic teams if they want to go far in Worlds, which, it could be either of these teams. They've both got a realistic shot. I think most people at this stage, given what Avant did when they were part of Insight, would probably put them in the lead for representative of the Oceanic team, of the Oceanic scene at Worlds. But there's still a long way to go for that yet. So any of these teams in the Invitational ladder or in the Pro League itself could be the one to represent us there, and that's really exciting. Is that we're going to be represented at Worlds,
and no matter who goes, it's going to be awesome, because Avant Garde have this story of they've been around since the beginning days of Oceanic, right? So
before there were even servers.
Exactly, yeah, and it's I'm not too sure. Were they? Rose sort of started it.
They've all been on the scene since then.
Oh yeah, all been. But the team was formed just after, during the 3v3 that Smite OCE hosted last year. I'm pretty sure. I'm 90% sure that's what happened. But also, if it's another team, then it's that team of, we popped out of nowhere. Let's say Slap and Tickle. They're all just casual players that got formed. They could come in, take down, like, they're the underdogs, quote unquote, but they're still very good. They could come in, take down Avant, the top dog, and then go to Worlds, go to PAX, and maybe even Worlds. No matter what happens, either way, that's just for an example, by the way, guys. Either way, it's gonna be a great story and gonna represent Australia. Like either Avant go, or someone else like an underdog can go, and no matter what, it's gonna make Oceanic look awesome, and the story.
We're all gonna be behind whoever goes, no matter what, because it's going to be tremendous. Like, to imagine that just people like us playing Smite are going to be going to the World Championships is pretty insane.
And we all know them. Like, everyone in the community knows each other, so we're gonna know them and be like, "Oh, that's my friend. He's playing there."
Yeah,
like it's great. Like,
it's great, folks. Due to the extended stasis mode, we are going to pop into a little bit of music and a cutaway screen. We will be back with you as soon as stasis mode decides to stop being a mean person. We're back from stasis mode, guys. A very short break. As soon as you stop paying attention to it, we're back into it already. So, I'm glad. We're back into the action, into the meat of the game now. This is where a lot of matches are decided in this mid-gaming phase. Oh, excellent axe from Subfloor over in the left lane. The Hail of Arrows hit. Here comes Biggie as well. Redoxide jumps away, but he's going to go down into Subfloor. Well played there for Subfloor. On point with all of his abilities once again.
That was great. That was a great clear by Biggie there to follow it up. And something that I wanted to note through the stasis mode was that everyone on Avant Garde has their second active already. They all use that 300 gold that they got from God Fury to pick up the second active. That's a blink, a beads, a Aegis, another beads, and another blink.
And why wouldn't you?
It seems very systematic. Like,
yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? You're winning when you're on level with Team Kamikaze. You don't need to necessarily get an extra item if you're already beating them when you're on level. Then may as well get a second active, provide some more utility for your team.
And yeah, it's that extra gold. Oh wow! And look at those wards by Avant.
Yeah.
Literally the entire map through halfway on both points is warded.
It's just a line of wards. It looks like trench warfare from back in World War One. 2 lines of wards facing each other.
That is extremely. This is top tier warding. Oh, Biggie.
Oh, here we go.
In.
Left land. Biggie and Rogue come over. Redoxide gonna go. Oh, he manages to leap away Subfloor. Chasing him now, but the great Intoxicate from Gruff Dogger. The leap from Subfloor gonna be enough to pick him up here. Gruff getting very low now. There's the Cats. He's gonna go down to the 5 on Fragita. Liquid Renegade uses the Pheno Evil overhand smash combo to take down Rogue in revenge, but overall, a great engagement from Avant. They pick up 2 kills for the price of 1.
And that's great. And now they're gonna pick up mid camps as well with the enemy duo lane down.
Yeah, just
like you said, easy pickups. They came in, and there was no wards for Team Kamikaze to see that rotation from Ro and Biggie coming in, and they just got killed. Simple as that. Not much to say about it.
It shows the importance of wards, and you know the saying goes, wards win wars, and that's what's happening here. Avant starting with the extra gold they've got available, able to put down more wards and not feeling the sting of it in their purses. Like, they can get that much extra coverage on the map. They've got 2 sentries on the left-hand side as insurance. I think one of them just timed out then, but they've got... Oh, no, there it is, back up by the Gold Fury. They've got other wards leading between the dual lane and the mid lane. Over on the right side, they don't have as many, but realistically, Sporks isn't fearing too much pressure from Liquid Renegade or Tompo, so he doesn't necessarily feel like he needs them.
That's true. He also has quite a lot of damage down over on that Avant tier 1 tower in the solo lane, as the Gold Fury will spawn in 10 seconds. I feel like we're gonna definitely see a rotation from that solo lane, like solo laners, excuse me, over the that was a sentry ward just cleaned out there by TCAM, and the Gold Fury is now up.
And another one placed down by Subfloor just getting rid of the Team Kamikaze one. So, you know, Avant's not only winning with their mechanics, they're winning with their plans as well. So they knew that there was going to be a sentry ward placed down on there inevitably, and they had another one waiting. And from their carry as well, who a lot of people don't play necessarily buying a terribly large amount of wards.
That's true. AD carries sort of want, I say sort of because you definitely still do want wards. They prioritize their damaging items because they need to come online as soon as they can. But Avant are so far ahead, they don't need to prioritize it because they're already ahead. And now they're grouping for this Gold Fury, just clearing out wards.
Yep. Now Rogue going in a little hard. Ooh. What do you think's going to happen here, Nightfall?
Oh, that was a blink, actually. Not expected at all. Goes the Circle of Protection. Pheno Evil does go down as well. And Gruff Dogger uses that belly flop over in there, knocks up Biggie, who also gets hit by a Spirit Ball. And now they've started off the Gold Fury. That's a lot of ultimates down. That's all the important ones. That's the Circle of Protection and the Pheno Evil are down. And Gruff Dogger belly flops in, trying to get it. It does get taken down there by Sporks. Sporks then Fearless into Tompo. Tompo getting... destroyed by all of Avant. That was so much damage. Oh my gosh!
Renegade under tower gets taken out by Sporks. Avant Garde just disrespecting Kamikaze at this stage of the game, willing to tower dive with impunity. This tier 1 mid should go down. No, Avant gonna wait for a minion wave. It's only opposed by Redoxite and Divine. They can do some damage, but it's not gonna be enough to save this tower. And first tower blood goes away of Avant. Divine gonna go down to Biggie as well. We're seeing the get
These
carry
axes.
here. And Subfloor picks up another kill, threading the needle there with an axe. This tier 2 mid's gonna go down now. Avant starting to get on a bit of a roll here, riding on the back of Subfloor. Is just incredible mechanics.
He hit 2 thrown axes within a minute, less than a minute during that whole engagement. That was, oh my gosh, that accuracy is insane. It's 14-3 now is the score, 17 minutes in, 9.6k gold lead, 13k gold lead, all for Avant, ahead of Team Kamikaze.
Yeah.
Will Team Kamikaze be able to come back? That is the question.
It's going to be very difficult from this stage forward because, I mean, their support is doing tremendously. He's got 10 assists and 3 kills. So he's been part of 13 of their 14 kills. That is incredible. That is incredible numbers from a support. He's got his sovereignty up. He's got Silver Talisman probably going into Hardwood Amulet. He's getting very tanky compared to Gruffdogger, who's only just started Iron Mail. Not going to really be able to protect his team much. Oh, an excellent axe coming from Subfloor onto Tompo. Cataclysm from Biggie as well. Tompo uses Charge Blade to try and get up, but catches Rogue. Unexpectedly, Spork's going to use the Fearless to get him into Divine. Picks up a kill on a Cheetah, and Tompo going to get out of here now. Spork's going in ham on Renegade. Rogue manages to pick him up here. Tompo uses the Tail Whip to drive Rowe onto tower, but Subfloor going to pick up a kill on Divine in backplay. So trading back and forth there. Both teams. Redoxite caught out now a little bit by Sporks. Here comes Subfloor to try and help him. There's the leap over the wall. Oh my god! Caught him with an axe as he was rolling. Redoxite getting very low, trying to hide with his minions. The Hail of Arrows kills in one shot, will take him down. Can Subfloor find it? He's got his axes up again. There's the Ash Barrage. He needs to get out.
No.
Here comes Tompo and Gruffdogger though. There is the belly flop. Subfloor. He's in a little bit of trouble now. Here comes Tompo. Charge Prey flips it back over his shoulder. Uses the leap. Does Subfloor to try and escape. He is being pursued by Tompo and Gruffdogger, and they're going to let him go.
They backed off?
They backed off.
What?
Incredible play by both carries from both teams. And now we have a game pause by Sporks. It looks like someone has decided. It was Biggie, so maybe that's why they backed off. They had to leave the kill there out of sportsmanship.
What? It's so difficult to find words. Okay, well, like you said, sportsmanship. Oh, there's support DC'd. Let's not kill him because that's sort of unfair. Because
The Oceanic Way.
yeah, Biggie could have come with a shield, helped him out, knocked him up, and he could have got away. So good guys, Team Kamikaze, letting him get away there.
Yeah.
He was out of mana there, so he was definitely gonna die. I feel because he was right underneath a Ram with 2 others. It was a 3v1 situation. He was out of mana.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was slightly ahead of Tompo and Gruffdogger, not the 2 most mobile gods in Sobek and Barkus, but yeah, Subfloor going to be very thankful that he's able to get out of that one.
And I feel that was the best team fight situation over by the Fire Giant in that corridor. The best team fight situation for Team Kamikaze because the Fear No Evil hit 2 people. 4 people. The Circle of Protection was very, very well placed, and Tompo was able to get a good ultimate out as well. And Gruffdogger hit a 4-man Intoxicate right at the start of it to set it all up. So I feel like if that doesn't get them back into the game, which it doesn't seem like it did because they still lost 3 people, I don't think they will be able to come back, unfortunately. But
yeah, they need to start picking up some objectives like this right-hand side tier 1 tower. Lost 3 towers, both their mids and the first one over on the right-hand side. They need to start getting some of these objectives, getting some of that gold boost out of there, or stealing some camps, getting gold furies in mid camp, securing those objectives and really re-establishing some map control, getting some wards down, which they've done a fair bit on the right side, but their wards are just being overwhelmed by the guys from Avant Garde. So it's going to be very difficult for Team Kamikaze to get back into this one.
they have to steal an objective like a Gold Fury, or like you said, take down that tier 1 tower on the right. And it looks like Red Oxide is gonna, actually opting to back off instead of push that wave. He's gonna rotate now because of the Fire Giant that has actually been started by Subfloor, and they don't know. Subfloor's able to solo it. He's there with Biggie, and that's a nice Rainfire on Divine. Gets quite a lot of damage down, and Spork's over here against Gruff Dogger. He's 2v1ing.
And it looks like as well, there's more of an engagement around the fight. Excellent axe from Subfloor onto Liquid Renegade. Takes a lot of damage. Sporks gets a kill on the Gruffdugger. That's one hand of the gods down. There's the Fear No Evil on everyone on the Avant. Liquid Renegade gonna go down to a cheater. Tompo was lurking the waters, comes out now, uses his tail whip to try and heal for his team. Divine and Redoxite getting very low. They go down here. This will be a Fire Giant. A cheater gets a double onto Divine. Redoxite gonna go down to Subfloor. He gets a double as well. Tompo goes down to Row. This is gonna be a Fire Giant for a Deicide possibly game. The only one that's gonna be up in time to stop him is Gruffdogger, and it's a surrender here from Team Kamikaze. Game 1 going the way of Avant Garde.
That was very, very decisive there by Avant Garde, and it all comes down to, I feel like, the warding and Subfloor being able to hit those axes, because that was insane.
Yeah.
And that Gold Fury fight right at the start was also extremely, extremely good.
Yeah. Just Avant Garde, just outplayed Team Kamikaze, unfortunately, in all facets of the game. In control, map control, objectives, towers, everything you could want to win a game they had.
Alrighty guys, thank you very much for watching that game 1. This is a best of 3, so stick around while we set up for this next match. Welcome back, guys, to Game 2 of Avant versus Team Kamikaze in the Smite OCE Invitational League. We are back here with Game 2. On your left there is Team Kamikaze. On the blue side is Team Kamikaze, and the red side is Avant Garde. And here we go with the bands. How are you doing, Husey?
Yeah, I'm well, thanks, man. How are you?
I'm pretty. So we do have Thor as the first pick. Definitely. Ooh, how did he get through? I want. So they banned. Thor is definitely very, very strong. Very potent jungler with that almost global ultimate, being able to set up ganks very, very easily from the Gold Fury as well.
Yeah. So Thor and banned out last game. I guess Avant are confident enough to allow that to go to Team Kamikaze, that they just let him slip through the bans. And now we can see a bit of an odd combination here coming up from Avant with the Athena and Garde pick.
Wow. Okay, so
Athena jungle.
I think it can be jungle or solo or support. I've seen Athena solo before. It does work quite well, actually, if you build a lot of damage. And rather than being on an island, if Sporks goes into Sporks doesn't have to be on an island because of the ultimate from Athena if he does go in the solo. I feel like it definitely won't be support, so like you said, jungle possibly as well.
Yeah. Lona and Cupid picked up now for Team Kamikaze. The Bellona really strong. You know, Bellona in the solo lane is going to be very difficult for Avant-Garde to counter, because she does so many things so well. Like she's her Scourge, which disarms, which is a new feature, and also provides a massive amount of lifesteal. She's got her shield mode, which blocks attacks. She's got her hammer, which does lots of damage. Her Eagle's Rally does provides lots of protections and damage boosts. So it's going to be pretty crazy. All right, we can see now as well, Anher and Agni locked in for Avant-Garde. And so Agni going to go into the mid lane. Achita going to be playing him once again. No Poseidon.
No.
Banned or picked. So that's a little bit of an odd combo there.
They seem to prioritize Agni over Poseidon. Definitely understandable because of the different ways that each character is played, but they do both have their strengths. However, I do think Agni does have a better... he's much safer because of the poke from Rainfire.
Yeah, and we can see as well Kronos locked in now from Team Kamikaze and Sobek.
Is that mid?
I think that's going to be a mid Kronos. That's a little bit of an odd choice. And then Sobek probably going to go the support role rather than the solo, given that there is a Bellona there. And that's and a Wheelix now from Ro coming in as the jungler. So it's going to be Athena solo. You made the correct call there, Nightfall. And so these are our teams. And this is a bit of some funky team combos here.
This is gonna be difficult to analyze, but it's great. I love to see weird picks, and having an Athena in the solo lane is weird, but it's good. And we haven't seen a Wheelix. I think maybe we saw her once in the open lanes, but we haven't seen her in a competitive play here in Oceanic yet, as far as I'm aware. So that's going to be very, very good. For those of you who don't know, a Wheelix is an assassin, very, very strong. She can... Her mobility is great because of Suku. That's her panther that she can summon. It gives her increased movement speed. She can jump with it. She has a feather step, which gives her immunity for... not immunity, ground target immunity. So she could jump over something like a Kukulkan ult, if she times it well. Also, she could pull enemies out of midair when they're in a jump. However...
But on the street is that Ro has practicing his Wheelix. So,
this will be interesting.
Yeah, and you get the knock-up from...
yes.
Well, yeah.
And, however...
These combos...
The only knock-ups from Gib and nothing else. And sorry, the Moonlight Charge from a Wheelix herself to try to knock
Yeah.
up. Only knocks up when you are standing, when it hits them from behind. There's no jumps from Team Kamikaze. They all have dashes. So also,
The Eagles rally from Bologna though.
is that CC immune though?
Yes,
It is?
Yes, it is. It is because I
Okay.
used it to escape a couple of CCs.
Okay.
That time in arena.
Alrighty, cool. So, yeah, there's no jumps.
Yeah.
So that'll be
I
very
don't know.
difficult for Ro to try to do. We'll
I
have
think
to see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't think Avant Garde would pick a god without a plan. They've definitely got something up their sleeve, and yeah, they're the kind of team. Every move is thought out. Every action is analyzed 2 or 3 times before they do it. And I don't think that they would have, especially with something as strategic as picks and bans, I don't think they would have gone into Wheelix if they didn't think it could work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That.
Little bit of a issue here at the moment. We can't seem to get out of the picks and ban screen. We will be doing our best to get you to the game. We might have to go to a loading screen temporarily, but we will be back with you as soon as we can. Hi guys, we are back with our second game between Team Kamikaze and Avant Garde. Avant Garde are up 1-0 in this best of 3 series. This is game of 2. I am Husey. Joining me for this match is the one and only, the lovely Nightfall.
Oh, I'm lovely.
Yes,
Man,
you are very
how's it
lovely.
going?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. This is game 2. After a decisive game 1 from Avant, I'm super hyped to see what happens in this game 2. Can Team Kamikaze come back? I'm so interested to see.
Yeah, it looks like not everyone's connected. A cheat has just come in, so we should be kicking off fairly soon. But before we do, let's introduce our teams. On the left side of your spectator UI, fighting out of the blue side of the map and under the same colored health bars, we have got Team Kamikaze. Tompo is in the solo lane as Bellona. Liquid Renegade is your jungler Thor. Divine is in the mid lane as Kronos. Redoxide and Gruffdogger make up your duo lane as Cupid, the god of love, and Sobek, the crocodile of the Nile.
And over there, the Chaos side, winners of last game, Avant Garde. In the solo lane, we have Sporks on Athena, Ro in the jungle as Wheelix, Ochita in the mid lane as the Agni, subfloor as Anhur in the AD carry position, and supporting him will be Biggie on Geb. And we do see again the aggression trying to invade, get some aggressive wards down. 5-man grouping by Team Kamikaze.
Yeah, Team Kamikaze know that they need to dominate this game from the start if they want to have a chance against Avant Garde. They were shown last game what Avant can do if they're allowed to get even a little bit of an edge. So they're looking to, as well, to get some nice map control if they can. I'm not sure if they popped a ward down near that red buff. There are members of Avant covering it. No, they haven't placed one, but 3 wards already out from Avant. They've spotted out a little bit of an invade from Liquid Renegade and Tompo here, looking to take the blue buff. So Ro and Sporks just going to take the back XP camp, not wanting to risk a fight at this early stage of the game against a Bellona and Thor combination.
Especially with the heavy hammer from Tompo.
Yeah, so they're just going to steal at blue camp now and get into lane a little bit earlier than the blokes from Avant Garde. So they're going to pick up some extra, a little bit extra XP here, maybe get some push under the tower, but well played from Avant, not falling for the bait there.
Yeah, they did that. They had an defensive ward that Team Kamikaze did walk over, so Avant Garde were fully aware that they were there, and now, actually they're going back for their blue buff, so Avant will not have a blue buff, so that will be not great there for Sporks. He's going to have a difficult time sustaining in that lane with no mana regeneration. Over here in the duo lane, actually, Gruffdogger taken quite low with an Impale. However, with that passive, that does increase his protections for every basic attack that lands successfully for a short duration. Yeah. Keeps him tanky and in lane for a lot longer than most supports.
Yep. Definitely.
And now Ro actually here in the mid lane, just gonna leap some XP from Ochita, easy peasy, and actually hit with Stasis Mode again, unfortunately. So the thing in this mid lane is the fact that Divine is on Kronos. Now Kronos is a very interesting mid laner. He has great sustain, which is why you see him normally in the solo lane. He's got a good CC, which is that stop time. It will slow and then stun. Also, good damage from that time rift from that one ability. The thing that he lacks is a massive burst ability on that ultimate. He has Rewind, which will regenerate his health and cooldowns to 5 seconds before he does that ultimate. So instead of having a massive burst damage like Agni or Poseidon or Isis with a very utility and also damage based, he's self-sustained, I feel is the word, self-centered. Yeah, he's not as utility based for the team, whereas Agni with that massive burst damage and that stun it's very interesting to see.
Yeah, it's does come online fairly well late in the game. He's a little bit of area damage with the time rift, but it's like, not as great as you said, as like a Poseidon or an Agni. We do have another stasis mode here. Stasis mode is, of course, OP, but we will continue on with the cast regardless. We won't be stopped, can't stop, won't stop. But yeah, Kronos, he's got a great stun with his stop time, which slows and then stuns, which is a great way of getting his team to catch up to the opposition and engage them on their terms. Liquid Renegade as well on Thor. It's going to be, as soon as he hits level 5 and is able to use that Anvil of Dawn, he's going to be jumping across the map, landing down where you least expect him. You can't always ward out a Thor, which is his difference from a lot of other jungles, is his great distance ability with the Anvil of Dawn. And typically he likes to hide behind like a Gold Fury or maybe even a little further back just to avoid that ward coverage. And next thing you know, he's landing on you, using the spin to win and tectonic rift to keep you in place, or the rest of the team collapses on you. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Avant Garde counter that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Whew. So it's too early to tell what's going to happen around Gold Fury. And that's going to be the first point. Oh, before Gold Fury, mid camps. How did I miss that? The mid camp fight will, like last game, define the rest of the game.
Yeah.
For those of you who did not see Game 1, Sporks was able to rotate from the solo lane a lot earlier than Tompo was. So he was included in that fight, and they were able to pick up mid camps because of that, and the level advantage that Avant Garde had. So as soon as they got mid camps, they were able to win a fight. No one died, actually, but they did gain a tremendous amount of XP and gold lead from that. They were able to pick up both mid camps, and then they just snowballed from that. And that's amazing that Avant Garde can get just the mid camps, both mid camps, and then just snowball the game from there. They're able to take a lead and then just demolish the enemy team. A small lead, and then they'll punish you for that.
Yep. Avant Garde showing why they're regarded as the premier team in Oceanic Smite at the moment. And yeah, it's just everything about them. They don't have a weakness, which is going to be really hard for any of these challenger teams to try and face. Is that they not one aspect of Avant's game which is not least as strong as their other ones. And so they're going to have to go toe-to-toe with them the whole way and be equally as precise and strategic and use their brains and all the rest of it that makes a professional Smite team.
Definitely. And like you said, they have a weakness. They do. Everyone has a weakness. It's very difficult to find one in Avant, though. All their gold pools are massive. If you try to ban out any one person, it's not possible. They'll just pick someone else. Like say you take away all the supports away from Biggie. Biggie can play any support. Same with Ro. Ro can play pretty much jungler as well. The most difficult one is Ochita. I feel he could be banned out possibly. Like we saw last game, he played Agni as well. And from scrims as well, watching scrims, I know that he plays a lot of Isis as well. So if you take that away from him, he mainly only has Agni as well. But there's so many prioritized bans that it's not possible to ban any one person without giving them something else that's stronger, which is one of the advantages to Avant.
Yep, and as I said, it's going to be really difficult for any team to go up against them. I think the team that everyone is thinks has got the best chance at the moment is going to be Slap and Tickle. That game will be broadcast right here on Team Down TV2. In week 7, it'll be one of the final matches played in this invitational ladder. So, everyone get hyped for that. It's a little while away, and we're going to see the competition definitely, I think, shake up a fair bit before then. We're definitely going to see some surprise matches. I'm sure before the end. So yeah, it's going to be great. All right, since we're hitting another extended stasis mode here, guys, we're going to have to take another break. We're really sorry about this. But as all of you that have tuned in before know, stasis mode is in fact the strongest god in the game, and we must obey its will. So we should be back shortly, guys, and we thank you very much for your patience. We are back, guys. Stasis mode has been vanquished for now. I'm sure we'll see another appearance from him later. Hopefully not, though, as we're bringing you back to Game 2 of Team Kamikaze v Avant Garde in the Smite OCE Invitational ladder. So far, too early in the game to see who's really doing what. A nice invade early from Team Kamikaze onto the blue buff of Avant Garde secured that objective from them. And speak of the devil, and he shall appear, Stasis mode is back.
So, Avant took the back left camps there. Because they were denied their own blue buff, they tried to come back in XP wherever they can, and they know exactly where those locations are. Right at the start, they went straight for back camps because they knew that Team Kamikaze was going to get that blue buff, and they didn't contest at all. So then they just settle for whatever XP they can find, and they took that left back camps. Team Kamikaze now taking those right back camps as well. I think Avant will go, that Row and a Cheetah will probably go for those back left camps, and the right ones have respawned as well.
Yeah.
1 minute away from the mid harpies as well, so they can definitely do those camps and still get back in time.
Yeah.
Whew.
All right, guys, we're gonna go to our break screen.
Are we?
I think
We back?
Oh no, we're back. So you guys just have to say something and then it'll stop. Okay, subfloor.
It's so
pulled back
unpredictable.
By Rough Dogger there, getting nicely aggressed upon by the boys from Team Kamikaze, but an excellent stone shield from Biggie, able to get his lane partner out of some trouble there.
Whew, so mid camps in 40 seconds. Liquid Renegade looking towards that duo lane, however they are pushed back, so he's not going to find anything. Coming back to this mid lane, uses that Molnir as a 2-man, doesn't decide to go through with it. So now that's his escape down for a short duration. However, I don't think... Oh, okay, so Row and Ochita up level 5, whereas Liquid Renegade, Biggie coming in actually with that knock up, and now Liquid Renegade was pulled out of mid-air, and good burst there from Row, mixed in with Ochita as well. Biggie, great knock up to initiate that pull from Row.
Yeah, first blood going the way of Avant Garde, and this is really not the way that Team Kamikaze wanted this to start. And then they pick up the right-hand side mid camps as well, so Avant Garde really... I mean, it's too early to call, but they've got a small advantage, and we saw what that did last game. And it's going to take... Team Kamikaze is really going to have to be on point the rest of this game to force a Game 3 scenario.
It's going to take a lot. Did, however, get those mid camps on the left there. And what is the gold lead now because of that? 600 at 3 minutes, 30 seconds in. So... like you said, Avant are able to snowball a small lead wherever possible. So it's going to be good to see what they can do with this. And the warding last game was immaculate from Avant.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to see it again. For those of you who missed it, there was 2 lines across right through the middle of the screen. It was... Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's tremendous. And it's showing why... Avant are as good as they are, because it's not just that they're good players, they're a good team as well, which I think is equally, if not as important.
Something I want to talk about is the solo lane.
I should say.
the Athena versus Bologna. Athena is very good against Bologna because Bologna is mainly auto attack based, and Athena has the passive where if she dashes and hits an enemy with her preemptive strike, she will block one auto attack, which is extremely good against a mainly auto attack based character, Bologna. However, her bludgeon deals quite a lot of damage. It increases the second stage of the ability, the overhand smash after the circle, per enemy hit with the circle ability, as we just see there. So Sporks against Tompo is actually doing quite well, considering that Tompo is more of a fighter. Sporks is a lot more tanky on that Athena with that Mark the Vanguard. Good taunt just to force a tower hit.
But you were going to say he's more of a lover than a fighter there for a second.
Okay, so Devourer's gloves now both for subfloor and Red Oxide.
Yep, so they're going to start stacking that early, getting some nice physical power and lifesteal boosts off of that. Subfloor, Redoxite going to go back to lane a little bit quicker than Subfloor, and after he's got his purple buff, pick up some nice stacks here. So that's going to give him a small advantage, but any advantage that Team Kamikaze can get from this, they will take 3-man grouping from Avant into mid lane now. They are ready for these mid camps to come up, and they will fight
nice
Team
blink.
Kamikaze for them.
Oh no! Ro was out of range to get the pull onto Divine after Biggie blinked forward and knocked him up. So he used his ultimate, but he didn't pull him out of midair because of the knockup. Oh no.
And you
Okay.
can
It's
see
not.
the left-hand side mid-camp is up. It looks like Team Kamikaze is waiting for Avant to aggress on a bit of a bait here. Nice work of the charge prey from Gruff Dogger. There was the Fields of Love from Cupid. Cheetah picks up Divine. Ro picks up Redoxide. There's the Desert Fury from Subfloor. Liquid Renegade and Gruff Dogger are in a situation they probably don't want to be in. Gruff Dogger goes down to Ro. He picks up a double kill, and Liquid Renegade extremely low here. Tompo finally rotating over and joining the party. There's the Eagles rally using the bludgeon. Does quite a bit of damage to everyone, but Cheetah hits him with a Path of Flame. Subfloor picks him up with an auto attack, and Avant takes the Gold Fury and a 4-man wipe.
That was extremely well played there by Avant Garde. Team Kamikaze were waiting for them, but Avant was still able to turn the fight in their favor. And that's the power of solo lane Athena. She was able to ult across the map and get into the fight much earlier than Tompo on that Bellona, who tried to do his best to try to steal the Gold Fury or get a kill. However, the aggression juggling from Avant was very, very good, and none of them died, and now they are up 5-0.
And Team Kamikaze there got a near perfect setup. He baited in Avant excellently. Gruffdugger got a charge prey, and then Redoxide used his Fields of Love to zone out the rest of Avant. The thing that I think they might have got a little bit wrong was they pulled Biggie, whereas I think they might have been looking for either Ro or a Cheetah, so they weren't able to burst down the God that they pulled, seeing as they got the Geb, and so they weren't able to get a pick and then have an advantage during that Gold Fury fight.
And now with the Gold Fury taken, they are 3,400 gold ahead, 4,000 gold, 4,700 XP, excuse me. And I want to talk about these, or actually over here in the solo lane, Tompo does get aggressed on, takes a lot of damage. Down to half HP, and now Ro is looking for something. Can he get the knockup? No, he cannot. That is the Eagles rally, and now Liquid Renegade here. Ro is extremely low. Down goes Sporks. This is a 4-man rotation, and that's a double kill there. Sorry, not a double kill, 2 kills there. 1 for Divine and 1 for Tompo as well. And that's 2 kills there for Team Kamikaze. Very good rotation. However, it was 4-man pulling 4 out of 5 resources away from the rest of the map just to get 2 kills.
Yeah, and that's showing Team Kamikaze's respect for Avant there, is that they need 4 of their own to take down 2 of Avant. And I mean, they'll be happy they got the kills, but I don't think Avant will be particularly worried because, as I just said, it took 4 of them to kill 2 of them. And yeah, it's gonna be still going to be hard for Team Kamikaze to come into it, but picks like those are going to be very important. And Avant can't let too many of those happen again, otherwise they're going to find themselves in a situation that they probably wouldn't like to be in, where Team Kamikaze is a lot closer than they expect. Here comes Ro now, aggressing onto Tompo, who was quite far up.
He missed the knockup.
Almost under tower, misses the knockup, so his ultimate will not be effective if he chooses to use it here. Sporks over here as well, trying to hold his lane against Tombo. They push some minions under tower, gives them a little bit of breathing room. They're going to rotate towards mid, but Liquid Renegade and Divine are grouped up there. They are ready to rock and roll if the need be, but these mid camps are coming up. Again, this will be the next big fight of this match, I believe.
So after those after those 2 kills, Team Kamikaze were able to pick up the blue buff from Avant Garde. So it was a good steal away from them, and I feel like we're gonna see the ultimate from Sporks here. And there's Liquid Renegade with the Anvil of Dawn, and here's the Fields of Love onto Biggie, and there's Sporks as well. And the Rainfire does go down.
A Cheetah just doing so much damage with those bombs. Gruffdugger going in aggressive on members of Avant Garde, but Subfloor picks him up. Look at Sporks and Roe, they are incredibly low. Alive, Tompo uses the Eagles rally onto subfloor. There's the stone shield from Biggie as well. Him and Sporks are still here. They still want to fight Divine. He's going to go down here if he's not careful. Here comes Tompo back into the fight now, but it's 4-on-2 in favor of Avant. It's going to take 1 or 2 kills to swing this either way. Tompo being focused now by Ochita. There's the Scourge, not going to find much. Biggie's using Roland. Oh, the firebomb from Ochita stuns him in place, and then he's taken out by the fire damage. They're very well played from Ochita. Excellent accuracy being shown. Excellent courage being shown as well by Avant, sticking around, knowing they could survive that fight, and just putting Team Kamikaze in some really unfortunate situations.
So no one on Avant dead in that fight.
No
one. Oh my gosh, the way that they play in team fights, the way that they exchange the damage around each member so they get all low enough, not one person gets killed. It's amazing. Biggie stayed at the back around the just to the right there in that little corridor beside the red buff, and he stayed there and he waited for a shield to come back up so that it could help subfloor deal that damage. Or what it looks like Red Oxide is caught here. There's the shifting sands and the knock up by Red Oxide. He uses that beads and the rollout comes out. Oh, Fields of Love forced. Actually, that's very, very good there for
defensively,
Avant.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they know that that's going to be down for the next minute and a half. So it looks like they're grouping around this Gold Fury now, maybe trying to pick up Divine and Gruffdugger before they go in here. But yeah, I tell you what, in that team fight before, that was all a cheater, man. He dealing that area damage to everyone on Team Kamikaze. Gold Fury now started by Avant. They've already got a half health. Biggie blinks in and uses the Cataclysm. Gruffdugger getting a little bit low, but Roe takes down Redoxide. Subfloor picks up Gruffdugger. Here comes Liquid Renegade, uses the Anvil of Dawn, hits only a cheater, spin to win on Roe, but Roe picks up Divine in the meantime. Team Kamikaze, they can't do anything at this point. There's the Flame Wave, from a cheater, but Subfloor picks up Tumpo with an auto attack. Liquid Renegade getting extremely low. Roe picks up another kill, and here comes the Gold Fury on for the I'm lost for words on that team fight.
Right,
there's a Gold Fury for Avant-Garde, and over on the right, Sporks is back over there just doing some damage. And Team Kamikaze, you got to feel bad for them. They've tried to engage. They're trying to counter-engage, and no matter what they throw at Avant is just saying, no, nothing you can do. This is our game. This is our region. You're not taking it away from us.
And the team fighting from Avant it's mesmerizing to watch. It's beautiful. It's like an art form. It's amazing to see the team fighting from Avant. And right at the end there, at the Gold Fury, Liquid Renegade actually used his escape for damage against 5 people. So he kind of sort of killed himself there, unfortunately, and now they're going to take their blue, try to get whatever XP they can back, because Avant are in pole position to take this game. 13 minutes into the game, they are 6.7k gold ahead, 9k XP ahead, and the warding is great from them as usual.
And even if you look at the kills, it's 14-2 in favor of Avant. Roe's got 6 kills, Subfloor's got 5 kills, and those are the main damage dealers on the team. Achita's got 3 kills. I mean, it's all of the people that need to be doing damage is doing damage. Everyone is hitting like a truck at this point compared to the predictions that Team Kamikaze has. Redoxide is under his own tower, and Subfloor's not even in his lane. Subfloor is grouping around these mids. Here comes 3 members of Team Kamikaze. That was a bit of a bait though, because here comes Sporks with the ultimate. Subfloor picks up a kill, picks up a double kill. Here comes the left-hand side mid. Sporks is chasing after Divine on his heels like a bat out of hell. Here come the right-hand side mid camps up as well. They are just starting to flash 5-man grouping from Avant around these. They are just telling Team Kamikaze there is nothing you can do. Is this a fire giant? It's a fire giant. Team Avant is starting the fire giant. No one on Team Kamikaze has a hog, but it's a little bit of a bait. Divine just barely avoids the rainfire from Ochita. Now Rose going in hard on Divine, forced to use the rewind. The fire giant extremely low. Fields of Love comes out from Redoxide. Just a stun out. Mesmerize almost everyone on Avant. Sporks gets very low. Roe picks up a kill on Divine. Redoxide running away, uses the hearts, but he's picked up by Roe. Getting a double kill. Tompo running for his life now. That's a 15-minute goal fire giant. from Avant, and only. I can't believe it. I thought they were just going to secure those right-hand side mid caps, but they looked at the items of Team Kamikaze, realized there wasn't a hog up at the time, and just like, screw it, we'll go for this fire giant. Whereas
And they-
a Gruff Dogger being
Oh
kicked
my
up under
God.
his own tower.
Oh.
Just disrespect from Avant. Team Kamikaze getting nothing at this stage in the game. Getting nothing.
This is scary to see. 15-minute goal, fire giant. As you said, this is amazing. It's hard to describe. And before
Just
that,
breathe,
actually,
Nightfall. Just breathe.
okay, so Tompo was over there in the solo lane, and he got the tower down to a point where he could have got it, but he left it. He recalled, and I'm not sure why. Maybe he thought that they went. I think he miscalled it. He backed because he didn't know they were going to do Fire Giant, because who takes Fire Giant at 15 minutes other than Avant? So he backed thinking that they were going to come and kill him. So he wasn't able to get the tower. And then they took the Fire Giant, and during it, the Fields of Love went down, so Cupid was there dealing DPS as well, and so was Cronus. Cronus was able to pick, that's a good Cataclysm over there on Liquid Renegade. He's gonna go down to Ochita there, and Grafdogger in a bit of trouble, able to use that Charge Prey to get out of there. And now they're looking for this tier 1 tower in the left lane. Tompo did actually get that tower over there in the solo lane, and actually Sporks forces the dash out of Red Oxide. The kills are 20-2.
This is nasty at this point. Avant is just not taking their foot off of Team Kamikaze's throat. They're going to take this tier 2 Tensai Tower as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see a rotation to the mid lane while there is still the Fire Giant buff up, and then moving on from there either to the right-hand side tier 1 or to the Gold Fury, just once again just to deny everything they can to Team Kamikaze. There is the Anvil of Dawn, was it from Liquid Renegade, just to get back under tower?
It was, yeah.
And
then
there
Grafdogger got his
gets
ball.
another kill under tower.
That was the tank.
Onto the Sobek, onto the tank.
That was the tankiest member of Team Kamikaze getting killed in less than 2 seconds.
And I'm really liking this Awilix play from Rogue. I really like, we said before, they don't have many knockups in their team. They've got Geb, they've got Anher with his jump if he lands it correctly, and they've got Awilix's own knockup. But Rogue has still made it work to his advantage, and he hasn't even really utilized the Gravity Surge ultimate that much. He's just used all the rest of Awilix's kit really effectively. And there goes the Gold Fury the way of Avant, and yeah, it's just been excellent to see the way that Avant has basically disassembled Team Kamikaze. And, Team Kamikaze's got a really strong team combo, except for maybe the Cronus in mid lane, but they've got Bellona in the solo. They've got Thor in the jungle. They've got Cupid as the carry. Those are all very top tier gods for their respective roles. And, still, Bellona, we're starting to see her as she gets more into play, banned a little bit more as well. Thor is usually first ban. And Avant said, whatever, do what you want. We've got something else up our sleeve we can throw at you if you ban out. You've only got 3 bans. There's 64 gods. You can't ban out everything we can play.
It's very hard to describe Avant because, like you said, they're just such a strong team. Their team fighting is immaculate. Their warding is amazing. Look at the wards currently. It's literally a line again in the enemy jungle across the entire map. Their macro play is good around objectives and warding and utilization of active abilities and items. And their micro as well. In team fights, not one of them will ever die.
Yeah.
The only times that they died was because 4 team members from Team Kamikaze rotated to that solo lane and were able to pick up Ro and Borks. And that was it.
And now Avant, subfloor was around the Fire Giant, hasn't started Flash again. He's going to be up awfully soon. Team Kamikaze need to force a fight in their favor here and try and pick up this Fire Giant, because if Avant picks it up, it's going to be game, set, and match, because they're going to be able to roll through the Phoenixes to and just end the game. So, here comes Avant now starting the Fire Giant. Team Kamikaze is in the air. There's the charge play from Gruffdogger trying to something here, but he's not going to find anything. Yeah, Avant's going to back off a little bit here. Here comes Liquid Renegade and Tompo. Anvil of Dawn was used, but he's just going to back out now. Liquid Renegade.
He's not able to go in. He can't go in without dying. Yeah,
no one can initiate. No one's strong enough to get in there and start anything. And it's Subfloor and Road just going to keep doing this Fire Giant while the rest of the team goes against Team Kamikaze 3v5.
Oh, nice
now,
Cataclysm.
Biggie is aggressed upon here by the members of Team Kamikaze. There's the Fields of Love. Not going to really find anything there. Ochita's raining fire from every direction. Here comes Divine using his rewind, but not going to be enough. Subfloor picks up Tompo. Ro picks up Gruffdogger. Here comes the ultimate from from Tompo. Ro gets a double kill. Only Liquid Renegade is up. They're not even going to bother with the Fire Giant. Avant's just going to go ahead and finish this. They know Liquid Renegade can't do anything to stop them. If he goes in too hard here, he will die. Here comes the right-hand side. Phoenix, is it going to go down? Everyone on Avant's very low. A well-timed Anvil of Dawn could pick him up, but Renegade was forced to use it defensively. It's not going to be up for another 30 seconds. Here comes
and they're going
the Titan start. They're just going to end. Renegade getting very low. Oh, there goes Forks down to the Titan, so not even any XP going to go the way of Team Kamikaze. Biggie gets hit by the spin to win from Liquid Renegade. He picks up a kill finally. Gruffdogger going in aggressive, but the Titan's going to go down too much, too quickly. Game 2 going the way of Avant, Garde, and that is the end of our best of 3 series. GG's to both teams, but Avant winning game 1 and 2 of this first match of the Smite OCE Invitational ladder.
And the extremely decisive wins. That's 4 kills, and 2 of them were because they tried to end as fast as possible, and they were able to with 1 tower up in the duo lane. Titan is the Titan is much tankier with every structure still up, and they were still able to finish at 21 minutes into the game. They took Fire Giant at 15 minutes.
Yeah,
that is scary. Their warding is crazy. They're fighting. None of them died. Not in one team fight, apart from right at the end, did anyone die. Avant are the scariest team fighters, and just I can't say too much now because we haven't seen the rest of the teams play against them. But right now, Avant Garde are top of the ladder.
Yeah, and Team Kamikaze is not a bad team. They were tried it until recently. They came the top 3 of the season 1 finals, but Avant just made them look like Avant just looked like they're on a different level of the competition. Avant looks like they're playing a different game to the rest of their own competition.
And that's I cannot wait to see the rest of this ladder. It's going to be amazing, guys. For those of you who don't know, the top 4, I think it is. Yes, top 4 from the Invitational ladder will go on to the Oceanic Pro League, and the Invite ladder is 9 weeks, 7 games, I think. 7 matches each.
Is it 9 weeks? I thought it was 7 weeks.
7 weeks, one of the 2.
Yeah, 7 weeks. Everyone plays each other once in best of 3 series. So you might see on your screen now, guys. First match of week 1 is concluded. Garde winning 2-0. Tomorrow at 7:30, we have got Silicon Esports against Exhilarated, aka Flagor's team for those of you that don't know. But yeah, Team Exhilarated is their official name, and they're going to go up against Silicon Esports, who placed first on the Season 1 Open ladder, but finished 4th in the finals. So and now here in this Invitational ladder, going to be a very interesting match. Exhilarated in the Invitational ladder qualifiers show were a team to contend with, and it'd be interesting to see how Silicon performs after the loss of their jungler Maxon, who has actually gone to Avant Garde and is one of their subs. So it's going to be very interesting to see Silicon's new team composition. We haven't seen them since those Season 1 finals in an official cast.
Yeah, so it's going to be very interesting that game tomorrow, guys. That's 7 o'clock AEDT, which is Sydney time. So do join us then, same place, right here on Team Down TV 2. Don't forget to follow the channel and join us tomorrow. Thank you very much, guys, for watching from me, Nightfall, from Husey, and from all the crew here at Team Down TV. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your nights.